Next year would be we sort of like
Now, what does it say?
you're supposed to. They want you to. I've also spent some time in Israel.
I didn't realize that. Shaviti, Adonai, the
But it also would be fun.
has no vowels.
Kind of amazing to get to be out there.
Nur,
Tommy is the last one.
what is it?
Where do you like to
Shaviti, Adonai.
Well, my family is
Say it again. Shaviti,
closest family outside of my town.
Hashem.
When I was 16, my brother and I went to prom. And then I went again when I was 20. And it was a gap. But it's mostly around the time. There's a little bit of family.
I've been here for years. I'm taking Hebrew with Rabbi Sam.
Could have had somebody who died. I really like that.
Yeah, yeah. I was there briefly. We like took a train up that way. Spent like a few hours at the time.
I love Yerushalayim. I don't have any fun.
That's mostly where I spend my time.
I guess, like, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat
Welcome
Shalom.
to all of you. Those who are here in person, those of you who are joining us at home. It's great to be with you on this Shabbat, Parshat Bereshit, the first Shabbat, the first Torah reading of the year, as we begin again with the cycle of Torah, with the cycle of creation. We read about the creation of light and darkness in this week parasha. And I just want to invite you to take a moment, if you're able to rise, please do so as we say together the blessings of the candles. And if you're at home and want to have your candles, to join us. And always encouraging you to turn on your cameras so your presence can be fully here. Taking a moment to look at these lights, the lights of Shabbat, that are the lights that we look into on Shabbat, reminding us that always after days of darkness, there is light, no matter what it is. That there's always the possibility of light, and Shabbat is a reminder of that. Shabbat is a me'en olam haba. It is the experiencing the world to come as if the world to come is here. It's experiencing full light as if exists all the time. Because when we experience that, then during the week we can work hard and harder and harder to get to that, to get closer to that. So we take a moment with the lights of the Shabbat candles for the prayers of our hearts. Take a moment within, breathe out. Holy One of Blessing,
Holy One of Blessing, your presence fills creation. Your presence fills creation.
Your presence fills creation. Holy One of Blessing,
Holy One of Blessing, your presence fills creation. Oh, your presence fills creation. Oh, your presence fills creation.
We take 3 times from the light of the Shabbat candles, and we say the bracha, the blessing together. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Eloheinu melech haolam, Eloheinu melech haolam,
Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner, le'adlik ner, shel Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
If it is your first time here at TBZ or at Shabbat Nariya, we especially welcome you. We welcome all of you. And Shabbat Nariya is an opportunity to lift up our voices and sing from your heart. Sing, sit silently, dance, stand, sit, feel it all. Be present, be fully present. This is a place where we all, each and everyone, can bring their own selves to prayer, to be in the presence of the divine, in presence in community. The Hebrew works, read the words in Hebrew. The Hebrew doesn't work, don't read the words in Hebrew. And there are some intentions in the back of the words of your song that can be helpful for really creating the space that we want to create today on this Shabbat Nariya. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Higale, gale, gale, ופרוס חביבי עליי את ופרוס חביבי שלום ופרוס חביבי ופרוס חביבי ופרוס חביבי שלום לך בקדמה פניו בתודה. בקדמה פניו בתודה. בקדמה פניו בתודה. בזמירות נריע לו. בזמירות נריע לו. בזמירות נריע לו. בזמירות נריע 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 לו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שיר חדש, שיר חדש. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שיר חדש, שיר חדש. שירו לאדוני כל הארץ,
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everyone. It's so great to be together. A lot of people have come in the last couple of minutes since we last invited you to slow down. So I'm going to give you another invitation. It's okay. You're here. It's time to slow down. You can take a deep breath if you haven't yet. Yeah, you made it. We made it. So last Sunday morning, I woke up and I looked at the weather report, and I found there that it showed that the low in Waltham on Tuesday night was going to be 34 degrees. Knowing that it usually gets down even a few degrees colder on my farm in Waltham than it says in the reports, I started thinking of the thousands of tomatoes still on the vines that would not survive a frost, and the chag that was about to come in for the next 48 hours. So I got on my phone, I texted a few friends and colleagues, and went to Hoshana Rabbah services, and at the end, I turned to those who were assembled, and I said, Chevra, does anyone have an hour this afternoon to come harvest some tomatoes? Long story short, we had a beautiful, if slightly rushed, afternoon together, harvesting all the tomatoes. Red, orange, yellow, green, no matter the color, they were coming with us. On this last day of Sukkot, also called Chag HaAsif, the holiday of ingathering, we did just that. We gathered in the last crops of the season before the weather turned. And then fast forward a few days, on Wednesday, after days of praying for rain, we planted our winter wheat seed, just as our ancestors did, looking to the crop ahead. The end of one crop makes room for the beginning of the next. The end is also the beginning. I think that's really the true story of this season. The end is also the beginning. On Monday night and on Tuesday morning, we gathered right here. Right here, we gathered in close around the bima that was here. And in one moment, we had two Torah scrolls, two Sifrei Torah, and in one moment, we finished reading the end of one Torah scroll, and almost in the same breath, began again with the words of the other Torah scroll wound to the beginning. The end is also the beginning. The psalm we're about to sing tells us, Or zarua latzadik, uleyishrei lev simcha. Light is seeded, light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright-hearted. Light is sown, light is seeded. A seed is also the end, and also the beginning. The life cycle of a plant ends with producing seed, and the seed carries encoded in it all the instructions needed for another generation of growth. Perhaps not so unlike the Torah, past instructions from generation to generation. And seeds don't germinate right away. They wait for the right time and the right conditions to burst forth and reach for life. We find ourselves in the moment sometimes called Achrei Chagim, after the holidays. The end of the Chagim, I think that's when the real work begins. The work of figuring out how to make real in the world those hopes and dreams and commitments that we made on the high holidays. The end is also the beginning. And so too with our practice here at Nariya. We repeat these lines of text, of Psalms over and over, letting the power of the echoed words unfold. When we come to the end of the line, most often what we do is we come right back to the beginning of that line again. The end is also the beginning. So as we continue on this shared journey into Shabbat together, as this week ends and Shabbat begins, may we be blessed to embody the example of the seed, to embrace the endings and the beginnings, and to shine our light, our or, along the way. Or zarua la tzadik, ule yishrei lev simcha. Oh, ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, 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 ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 oh, oh, ay, 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 Zamru Adonai Bechinor 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 Bekol Zimra Zamru Adonai Bechinor 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 Bekol Zimra Zamru Adonai Bechinor Bechinor Bekol Zimra Zamru Adonai Bechinor Bechinor Bekol Zimra Zamru Adonai Bechinor 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 Bekol Zimra Zamru Adonai Bechinor Bekol Zimra Zamru Adonai Bechinor Bechinor Bekol Zimra Zamru Adonai Bechinor Bechinor Bekol Zimra Zamru Adonai Bechinor Bechinor Bekol Zimra Zamru Adonai Zamru Adonai Bechinor Zamru Adonai Bechinor Bekol Zimra Zamru Adonai Bekol Zimra Zamru Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu, Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho ki kadosh Adonai
It's our practice at Shabbat Nariya to have some kavanot intentions to the psalms and the songs we sing by TBZ members and kavod members. And I'll take an opportunity to say that we're always looking for more people to give kavanot. So if you want to give a kavanah and you're from TBZ, reach out to me. If you want to give a kavanah and you're part of kavod, reach out to Aviva, I think, which I don't know if she's there in the back. And if you're TBZ and kavod, some of you are both, reach out to Aviva and me. And we'll be happy to have you share a kavanah in one of our Shabbat Nariya. And with that, I'll invite Matan Ben Ishai from TBZ to give us a kavanah before the next song.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
My name is
Shalom.
Matan. My pronouns are he and him. I'm a member of TBZ. Kol ya al hamayim, ya al mayim rabim. The sound of the divine is upon the waters. The divine itself is upon the mighty waters. Close your eyes. Imagine the sound of crashing waves, breaking and drawing back, breaking and drawing back. The sound of mighty waters can be calming, can't it? As someone who gets far too seasick to go on boat rides, I've often grounded myself in stillness on the shore while listening to crashing waves. This was especially true when I lived in Revere a few years ago and was going through some difficult times. Almost every day, I made it a point to take a slight detour on my way home to stop at the beach for a few minutes. I would listen to the crashing of the waves, and after a few minutes, I would feel my heartbeat begin to match that rhythm. That feeling of facing a steady, inexorable rhythm that is larger than myself is one way that I feel the presence of divinity. But feeling the presence of a larger, inexorable rhythm that carries a spark of the divine, it doesn't always have to be calming. In fact, we sing this psalm in particular with a powerful energy. We dance and we drum and we jump, and the thunder of the drums, like the waves of the sea, can ground us in a deep feeling of the present. Both the calm of the waves from the shore and the energy of community, both of them are telling us that we are right where we need to be at this moment. For this moment, we can let go of everything else and just immerse. Immerse in the waters, immerse in the sounds, immerse in community, immerse in Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Stand as you're able, embody your spirit. Kol Adonai al hamayim, el hakavod hirim. Kol Adonai al hamayim, el hakavod hirim. Adonai al mayim rabim. Adonai al mayim rabim.
want to say, Sher Koach, I think that in the, 6 years, 7 years of Nariya, how many years Nariya?
Six.
6 years of
No,
Nariya.
oh, no, 8. This is the 8th year.
8 years of Nariya.
So I've been doing it for 6, but it's been 8.
Oy, in the 8 years of Nariya, this is the first time that we close the circle
Wow.
in the dancing. It is always Josh and me that get started. For a few minutes we are alone, and sometimes Tatiana join us. And today we totally close the circle.
Yeah.
So you should go. Beginning.
יחיד גר לעמך פני זוכרי
And I invite Rebecca Judson from Kavod to share with us a kavanah for the next time. Rebecca, I'm going to ask you if you can move. The camera only goes onto that beam, so you need to be low so the people at home can see you. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
In the song we are about to sing, Lecha Dodi, we are invited to view Shabbat as a partner. The language we use of bride, or in some traditions of queen, may or may not resonate with the other language we use for partnerships in our lives. Yet, however we might feel about the image of a Sabbath bride, there is something about the language of a new and deepening stage of a relationship that feels to me especially poignant on this first Shabbat after Simchat Torah, and speaks to both the anticipation and deep familiarity with which we approach this moment and this new cycle of Jewish time. In our other partnerships in our lives, this deep familiarity can often be the knowledge of the well-worn patterns that we often fall into. As Noah mentioned earlier, it can sometimes be hard to live out our intentions after the high holiday season. And moving out of this season of repair, we might have wounds that have just begun to heal, or trouble breaking free of the skepticism that may prevent us from deepening our relationships. And so, as we move into Lecha Dodi, I invite you to approach the moment of greeting Shabbat as practice in turning toward the door, of seeing what happens when we lean into the excitement of our anticipation and trust that our partners will be there to meet us when we greet them. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Amen, amen.
And, Shkoach, Rebecca,
Shkach, shkach.
we get to celebrate. We get to celebrate not only Shabbat and the Shabbat queen and the Shabbat bride, but we get to celebrate the bride and the groom. We celebrate Tatiana and Josh. We're getting married next Sunday, a week from Sunday. A week from Sunday. And as we celebrate them, as we go out and bring the Shabbat bride and the Shabbat groom, we will, after we finish, we will dance with Josh and Tatiana, Simcha Gdola, as this is the last Shabbat Nariya before their second wedding, because they got married during COVID with very few people, and they're having their chuppah next week. We will celebrate them again next Shabbat, and they're all from here at TBZ, and we're very excited to celebrate them as much as possible. So at the end of Boi Kala, we're going to really say Boi Kala, Bo Chatan, and we will dance with you guys. Oh, yes! Last month, Mazel Tov. We will dance with you too, guys. Anybody else? Oh, really? Mazel Tov to you. Okay, all the new couples will dance with you. Good, wonderful. What an auspicious time, Mazel Tov.
Mazel tov. After. After. Thank you. After. Lecha Dodi, Likat Kala, Bnei Shabbat, Nekavela, Lecha Dodi, Likat Kala, Bnei Shabbat, Nekavela. השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם תפארת. בריתי לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת לקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי מקור הברכה מראש מקטר הנזוכה סוף מעשה באחשבת תפילה לך דודי לך לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה קיביצי מתוך ההפכה אוריו לך שבת בעמק המחר והוא יחמור עלייך אלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת לקבלה התנערי מעפר קומי לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי על יד ונשאר בית הלחמי כל באר נפשי יעלה לך נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת לך דודי בלי קסקלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי בלי קסקלה פני שבת נקבלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי mazel, mazel, mazel tov. Hayeh lanu lecho Yisrael. Lecha dodi, ay, 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 lecha dodi. Ay, ay, likat kala. Ay, ay, penei Shabbat nekabela. Ay, 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 lecha dodi. Ay, ay, likat kala. Ay, ay, penei Shabbat Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Ay, 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 da, da. Ay, ay, da, da. Da, 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 da. Ay, ay, da, da, da. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, ay, ay, ay. Oh, ay, ay, da, da. Ay, ay. Di, da, da, da. Ay, ay, da, da, da. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, ay, ay, da, da. להגיד בבוקר חסדך באמונתך בלילות. היי היי אדוני, היי היי אדוני, ידידה
If you're able to rise, please do so. For Mari, we're passing the Sidurim. Page 50 here at TBZ, it's page 19 on the Sidur at home. Baruch hu et Adonai Mevorach.
המבורך לעולם ועד.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach leolam vaed. You may be seated. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, אמר יברא אבי, אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך, 52. 2 or 20 at home. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם בלילה באהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל
Amen.
שמע
Shema
ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. We read silently the next paragraphs of the Shema. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 60 here at TBZ. At home is page 25, the blessing of Geulah. ומלכותו ורצון קיבלו עליהם מרים משה ובני ישראל לכנו שירה ושמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדע בקודש מלכותך ראו בניך בוקעים לפני משה זה אלינו ואמרו אדוני ונאמר כפת אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Page 63. Help us, O God, to lie down in peace and awaken us to life in the morrow. May we always be guided by your good counsel, and thus find shelter in your tabernacle of peace. Shield us, we pray, against our foes, against disease, destruction, and sorrow. Strengthen us against the forces of evil which abound on every side. May we always sense your loving care, for you are a merciful God and sovereign. Guard us always and everywhere. Bless us with life and peace. Praise to you, O God of peace, whose love is always with us, who shelters your people of Israel, protects Jerusalem in love. Ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha Baruch atah Adonai הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו על כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים ועל כל העולם. We rise as you are able. 64 here and at home is page 27. ושמרו
בני ישראל את השבת. ay, 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 לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ay, 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 ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם היה כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש יתגדל ויתקדש שמר רבה בעלמא דברה חירותה וימליך מלכותה בחייכון וביומכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יש מרבה מברך לעולם ימי המיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלל שמרת קודשה לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירם ועלמא ואמרו amen. Damida silently here 6976 at home 29 to 39. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Yah, my rock and my Redeemer. Oh Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Ve'asuli Mikdash ve'shachanti betocham v'anachnu nevarech Yah me'ata ve'ad olam. Ay, 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 prepare me
to be a
sanctuary,
pure and holy,
pure and holy,
tried
and true, tried and true,
and in thanksgiving,
and in thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Oh, it's such a blessing to have Ron.
Yeah, amen, 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 amen.
Ron has not been here in a long time, which means I have not sung this in a long time because
That's true.
I have a really hard time singing it without you, Ron. So thank you for being here. We miss you so much, so much. Please rise as you are able for Aleinu, page 118 or 44. Aleinu leshabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצאת בראשית, שלא עשנו מארצות, ולא שמנו משפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו עמהם, וגורלנו עם כל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. You may be seated. We extend our condolences to Pnina Lahav on the death of Pnina's brother in Israel, Yosef Rahav, last week in Israel. This week we will commemorate the yahrzeit of Dorothy Alpert, Chester Bryn, Lena Fine, Beverly Fuchs, Harold Glaser, Shirley Evelyn Port Gray, Edward Gross, Ruth Cassoy, Fanny Schumer Clackbroom, John Lepore, David Romano, Esther Saltzman, Ayaleb Zelling, Philip Zelling, Florence Harriet Sender, Leah Supowit, Paul Tumarkin, Emmanuel Weiner, Edwin Weinfeld, Max Wexelman, Sophie Feldman, Samuel Graff, Samuel Harris, Milton Sidney Kai, Jacob Leiner, Meyer Miller, Clarence Rich, Frank Rodding, and Hannah Istkovna Sudman. If you're mourning or commemorating a yahrzeit, or your custom is to rise for Mourner's Kaddish for Kaddish Yatom, please do so. Here at TBZ, Kaddish Yatom is on 124, at home is on page 48. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
אמן.
ועל מה דברה חדותה, וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירם בעלמה, ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרמיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, על כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן.
Amen.
You may be seated. So welcome everybody. It's really amazing to be with all of you. Apologies to people at home. Looked like we sent 2 different Zoom links on different emails, so there was a little bit delay for everybody getting here. Thank you, Micah, for noticing that and fixing it. So that's an apology for those joining us on Zoom. And the potlucks are back, thank God. So those of you who are staying for potluck, we welcome you to come downstairs. and to share food. If there are labels there, if you didn't label your food and it is your practice, you're okay in the practice of writing on Shabbat, label your food. If not, don't worry about it. Just let's make sure to check in with people, both regarding kashrut, everything should be vegetarian, and regarding allergies. There's a table for desserts. Check the decorations of the dessert table made by Ariel, my daughter, who spent a lot of time drawing dessert decorations, so check that out. You bring your kid to shul early, you give them a job, decorate the dessert table. My creativity is pretty high there. And for those of you who would prefer to eat outside, you're welcome to come to the sukkah, which is, I think that it's still a sukkah, like the schach is still up, I think, I don't know. We'll turn on the light. I am not sure the tables were put back after the rain, but if people are outside, it's very easy to bring a couple of tables back, so outside. So please do not hesitate. If you want to be outside, we'll just bring some tables outside. It's a matter of a moment to do that. So that's with the potluck. And we have a very exciting Shabbat. Tomorrow, our guest speaker is Ruth Messenger, former CEO of American Jewish World Service. And I spent the morning with her today in a tour of the J Arts art exhibit at the Fenway area, which it's an incredible social justice artist, a Jewish art exhibit, that one of the artists, one of the 6 artists, is a TBZ board member, Samuel Mendoza-Freiman. And if you haven't seen it, you have to see it in the next few days because it's ending after 3 months of being out there. And Ruth Messenger is one of the visionaries of this art exhibit called Be the Change, and she will be talking about that tomorrow, both at services at the end of service and also during Kiddush talk. And we will also have as a guest Chaplain Clementina Cherry, who's a friend of also Ruth Messenger, and they will all be part of this conversation. So it is incredible to have them tomorrow at TBZ, not to miss. Besides that, there's Wonder Minion tomorrow for the kids. We start with Shabbat breakfast. That's the best thing. There's Shabbat breakfast at 10:30, and all kind of music and singing with Noah. 11:30 is the singing. At 10 is the 10:30 Shabbat breakfast, and then there's all kind of activities, and then there is the singing. So there is a lot going on tomorrow. And there's a lot going on in general TBC, so check our website. And I look forward to continue to celebrate with all of you. Next Shabbat morning, we will have the offer for Tatiana and Josh and the bat mitzvah of Evelyn, so it's going to be a lot of simcha next weekend too. And who's giving announcements from? You have a mic? Aviva. And Aviva's parents are here. Welcome.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
My name's Aviva. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm a member of the spirituality team at Kavod. We're always so glad to co-sponsor Shabbat Nariya with TBZ. And Kavod, as many of you know, but I'll say in case you don't, is a multi-ethnic, multiracial community led by young Jews in Greater Boston, committed to each other and to building a liberated world for all people. And we would love to meet you if you haven't met us before. If you're new to Shabbat Nariya, raise your hand. We love to meet folks who are new. Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yes. So good. And we want to also take a moment to acknowledge the Massachusetts and Wampanoag peoples whose traditional territory we're gathered on here, acknowledging them as the past, present, and future caretakers of this land. And we hope that with continued shared work, this small acknowledgement helps us be a part of solidarity with Native peoples in their resistance. A couple of things I want to share that are happening at Kavod. The most important thing that you probably already know is that early voting has started, and there's a few different ways with Kavod to be a part of voter education, particularly on question 4, which is about driver's licenses. Yes, for everyone, regardless of immigration status. If you're curious to learn more about that, I'm happy to talk about it. Also, we're going to be educating on question 1, the Fair Share Amendment, to help support our schools and public transportation, all the things that we need in our communities. And you can knock doors with Kavod. This is like an intersection of all my favorite things. You can knock doors with Kavod and the Essex County Community Organization on the North Shore next weekend on Sunday the 30th. And you can also make calls with Kavod for elections, along with Dayenu. I imagine TBZ is also doing that. Yeah, great. And that's getting out the vote in Georgia shortly before the election. It's also really important work. And I just want to share one other thing that we're about to start, we've never had at Kavod before, a Kabbalat Shabbat leadership cohort in the Ashkenazi tradition of leadership, led by people from Kavod, and it's for people from Kavod, but if you're not a member of the Kavod community and you want to join, we welcome you. You can check this all out on our website, kavodboston.org, and there you can connect for the class. It's sort of a 6 or 7 week series of really deepening and thinking about the themes and how to lead Kabbalat Shabbat. And of course, we have Kavod Shabbat services on November 4th and more things coming up, but those are the main things. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. It will be incredibly helpful for our ushers, and thanks to Nadav and Becca for ushering, and if everybody can help us to bring our Nariya pages. I guess, David, now you came, you're there, and they go separate into different boxes that are there. And if you find from other people too, that's a great way to help, so we can be ready for tomorrow's Shabbat morning services. But before all that, we're going to come together and welcome angels and welcome all the angels of Shabbat, and then say Kiddush and Amotzi together. Matan, would you bring for me that paper? So come closer if that feels comfortable to do. Everybody come closer. השישי ויחולו השמיים בארץ וכל צבאם ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות חברי חברה.
לחיים!
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו ואהבה ורצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת עם כל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני
ברוך שמו.
מקדש השבת.
Amen.
We connect to the Chala, or to someone connected to the Chala. By the way, did you guys realize those of TBZ who we have been suffering because the heating was broken? That now works. It was fixed today. The pipes were fixed today. We have heating at TBZ. We connect to the Chala, to someone connect to the Chala. Everybody connected. We say bracha together.
Connect.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך
העולם
המוציא לחם מן הארץ.
Amen. Amen.
You're going to have challah here? I'll bring it downstairs too for the Pavlov.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עליך. ויעקב ישראל, לה 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 לה, כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, Shabbat Shalom!